humanity is realigning itself, reshaping itself as we speak in a more tribal manner. It's almost like Neo-Feudalism is basically what I'm trying to say. People, I think, in their souls or deep inside, they really long for a return to a simpler way of life. And again, where am I getting this from? I'm getting this from the participants in organized stalking and harassment who have been around me every single day for a decade, and I've observed their behavior many, many times, including many times that I did not want to observe their behavior because it's often so disturbing and evil. But anyway, what have these people taught me? They've taught me that humanity is at heart authoritarian. They've taught me that for humanity, so-called freedom or democracy, and it's just funny, those words, what do they really mean? They get thrown around a lot, but what do they actually mean? The natural state of humans is authoritarianism. And this is what participants in this ultimate game, this ultimate sport have taught me, have drilled into my mind over and over and over and over again, especially this last year of 2016. It was all basically reinforced many times over. People like tyranny. That people like oppression. That people like injustice. This is what has been shown to me. And not with words, not with all of these people saying this and that. But this is what they've shown to me with their behavior over and over and over again. Including their physical attractions among one another. They've shown it to me over and over again. Oppression, domination, humiliation, power by any means necessary, strength, even if you're gaining that strength using the most evil methods possible still. Right? So anyway, this is what people have taught to me over and over and over again. And where I'm confused now is if people at the personal level, in their daily lives, at work, at home, on the street, in the bar, hanging out online, if what truly makes people happy, as I've seen thousands of times in front of my face, if what really makes them happy and satisfied is injustice, oppression, if what really satisfies them and pleases them is giving rein to all of those primal desires to dominate and to oppress and step on, or to watch it being done to other people. And I can tell you that thanks to body language and facial expressions and even vocalizations amongst participants, I can tell you with 100% certainty, coming from Mr. Lost in the Gray Areas, I'm telling you with 100% certainty here that there's nothing else that makes people feel that good. There is no greater way that I've ever seen people bond together than through their participation in these domestic terror programs and through their participation in the humiliation, slander, bullying, psychological abuse, and electronic torture of other human beings. It's like they've been set loose, so to speak, and given the ability to allow these long buried instincts and desires to come to the surface when people participate in targeting, such as in a situation like mine. They can indulge in these guilty pleasures. They can do things to people with, and in doing these things to people, they can take so much of their hate and anger and scorn and contempt and negativity in general, and they can just focus it all on that person and make that person suffer and hurt and feel pain. And I've never seen anything else ever that has satisfied people that much. So all I'm saying is this. Here you have these people truly satisfied, and they even use themselves. And you'll see this is more and more common amongst participants. They use this term harmonizing, because through targeted individuals like myself, they are creating this social harmony amongst themselves, such as many of them have never experienced. They don't have to worry about, at the end of the day, why they're actually doing this. They don't have to worry about, what are the ethical implications, or they don't have to worry about any of that. All they know is that they feel themselves in deep, deep harmony with this vast group of human beings that is, in every part of the world. They feel this sense of brotherhood and sisterhood, which is unlike anything that they've experienced. And this is something that I think human beings at their core have been longing for. This is something that civil society stifles, because civil society does not allow you to just go out and take someone's rights away. Civil society says that civil society, I guess, is like, it's like that teacher in grade school who was telling you, stop talking, stop doing this, stop doing that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And all of these human beings who, like Schopenhauer said so brilliantly, are basically large children. All these human beings are longing for is that harmony, and they're longing to feel that satisfaction of that combined sense of purpose, and just this feeling of this collective power that is possessed by all of the members, and the way that they can do what they want. If they so choose, and if they feel like it, if they decide, we want that street light to go out. We the people, we want that street light to go out. They can do it. If they decide, he's getting this piece of mail delivered, well, we want the post office, the employees of the post office, and this is highly illegal, but they do it. We want the employees of the post office to withhold that piece of mail because we know that he really is looking forward to getting it, and they can do it. In other words, they have this vast reach where they can just reach out into that big world and just make things happen. They can transform entire towns and cities. It's almost like, if you've ever heard of terraforming planets, this is almost like, social terraforming. They can come into a location where a target is and exert a massive amount of control and influence over that local population, even though, thanks to the way that this complicated kind of mating ritual between the local population and the online community works, members of that local community would be very loath to admit they're being influenced in any way. And interestingly, this lines up with what a fellow named Joseph Goebbels said a couple of decades ago, where he basically said, the best type of coercion is the kind where the people that you're coercing will not admit that they're being coerced. And this is definitely a brilliant example of that, if not a chilling example of how that works.